friends, welcome back. So today we actually have a friend that's coming over for dinner. We're going to do a little early holiday celebrating. And so what we're going to have tonight for dinner is going to be a lamb roast. I know lamb isn't super popular where I live, but me and my husband and this friend that we're having over tonight really enjoy lamb. So we're going to cook some lamb up, and then we are going to do some little fingerling potatoes. I have a spring mix salad in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to show you how I make my lamb to make it taste delicious. So let's get started. So lamb, I really like to do low and slow for the most part, so I am going to utilize my crock pot for this. And it's super easy. So we are just going to open this up. And I'm not going to do anything special to this. This is a bone-in lamb roast. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to make sure I take out that little pack out. I'm going to wash my hands right quick so I can get this seasoned. All right. So I season my lamb roast really simply. We're just going to use some salt and rosemary, dried rosemary. You can go a little bit heavier than that. You can add as many spices as you want. However, I find that rosemary complements lamb extremely well. It also helps aid in digestion for people who struggle with red meats. If you eat rosemary when you consume unfamiliar like red meat, so buffalo, bison, lamb, even beef, you'll find rosemary a lot in like beef stew and stuff. All right. Now you could probably add other things into this, but I want to remain as much of that flavor in there as possible. So we're just going to leave it like that. And then we're probably going to eat around 6. It is 12:30 right now. So I am going to turn my my crock pot here. I am going to turn on and set my crock pot here for 6 hours, which will be a great amount of time. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and prep, and I'm actually going to go ahead and cook up these potatoes so that they're ready to go. So all I have to do is just heat them a little bit, and then we're going to make kind of a fruit side. I'm going to have to check and see if I have walnuts. If I don't have walnuts, I may have to run to the store and get some walnuts. But it's just apples, a little bit of lemon juice, some honey or an allspice, or in this case, I'm going to use pumpkin spice, and then your apples and honey. So, and you just chop up your apples and you mix it all together, and it usually has a very, very nice flavor to it. So, let me get a bowl out here. Get my colander out so I can wash these potatoes. So this charoset, this apple side dish I'm making, is traditionally served with for Passover in the Jewish religion, which is kind of what we're going to be celebrating tonight, but not in the strictly traditional sense. Anyway, what we're doing tonight is we're going to sit down and have dinner, and then we're going to, we're going to read through the Exodus scriptures involving them leaving Egypt, which is what Passover is about. And then we will also be reading scriptures in the New Testament about when Yeshua or Jesus celebrated Passover with Passover with his disciples. All right, on these potatoes, I'm going to make this super easy, super simple. I'm going to take a little bit of avocado oil here. And I am just going to drizzle some over the top. I'm actually going to unscrew this lid because I don't want to shake. Gonna salt these fairly heavily because potatoes can take a lot of salt. And these will be roasting, so a lot of it will probably get transferred to the pan. I'm gonna also take rosemary to keep it the same with the lamb roast that we're serving. And then I'm gonna take some garlic powder and dust it on there also. And I'm going to be pretty liberal with it because, again, a lot of it's going to get left on the pan. All right, and then I'm going to cook it 350, and even though it's going to be warming up here, I'm going to go ahead and throw these in the oven, and then I will just kind of keep an eye on them. Okay. I really don't think I have any walnuts, but that's okay. I'm gonna get a bowl out to put this in. And then I'm also gonna make some lemon water and put my apple, my diced apple in so that they don't rot up. But honestly, with this recipe, with these apples, since you're adding spices to it anyway, it's not that big of a deal. You don't have to do a lemon bath for it. And I'm just going to use my stove here as counter space because I have a very small kitchen. Let me finish my tea right quick. This is a pumpkin spice tea. because I'm a pumpkin spice person. Some half and half, and then some pumpkin spice stevia drops. A little bit. All right. My cats are fighting each other over here. So I have 2 younger cats and 1 very old cat, and they don't always get along. So I was talking about earlier this week how we had a couple of 80-degree days. Yeah, so last night we got down to right below freezing. And the high for today, is only going to be in the upper 60s. So our springs here are a little crazy. Okay. So before I get these apples start cutting here, let's get some water. Okay. So I'm just getting a little bit of cold water here. And that'll be good. All right, let's get these apples diced. You can cut these apples in any size that you want, as far as big or small. I am just going to do a fairly small dice. I would say probably like a 1/4 inch dice. It's not going to be very big. And I'm not using any like special apples here. These are just store-bought large gala apples. That's all they are. Because it's less about the actual flavor of the apple and more about the other stuff that's going in it. Right. Now, by no means am I a chef. So when I say 1/4 inch dice, I'm guesstimating. But if you cook and there are things that you pick up and you start eyeballing things and you get to know your size of stuff pretty easy. So this isn't something that we eat on a regular basis. While I do enjoy it, I don't want a ton of leftovers, and since there's 3 of us, I'm not going to make a whole lot. So I have 2 large apples here, and that's going to be probably all I need, and won't need much more than that. Now, if y'all celebrate Easter or anything like that, I think those are fun holidays. They're definitely more centered around kids for the most part, doing the Easter egg hunts and stuff. So, by no means, you know, I grew up with Easter We did ham and mashed potatoes and green peas. And one of our traditions, though, during this time of year for Easter, or Resurrection Sunday, or whatever y'all like to call it, what everybody calls it. I know that really just depends on where you come from, how you grew up. We would always shape our mashed potatoes into a bunny rabbit. And it would have a little half-boiled egg as its tail. And then they would usually put jelly beans for the eyes. I know that's really weird. And then my great-grandfather started it. And after he passed, somebody always continued it. But somebody would sprinkle a few little English peas behind the bunny rabbit next to its boiled egg tail to make it look like bunny poo. It never failed. Every year somebody did it. But it was kind of fun. The last several years that we did that, I was in charge of making the mashed potato bunny. And you think, like, you wouldn't think that would be too hard. It's just a little bunny rabbit laying down. But you have to make sure your texture of your mashed potatoes is just right. Like, if they're too runny, then they don't hold together. If they're not, cooked enough, or doesn't have the right enough consistency, not liquidy enough, then they don't stick together and you can't get a smooth shape to them. But yeah, it was always a ton of fun. I'm always a creative person, so making a bunny-shaped mashed potato mound is kind of enjoyable for me. It let me be creative. Gave me an excuse to play with my food. But I don't enjoy playing with food as much as becoming a chef, so what are some of y'all's family traditions that y'all do around the holidays this time of year? You'll have to comment and leave it down in the comments for me, okay? I would love to be able to see other people's traditions and stuff. Okay, that was the timer telling me my oven is up to heat now. I could probably get a smaller bowl out for those. I think I will too. I may put it in one of my glass ones instead. That way it'll have a lid when I'm finished. So I very seldom cut meat up prior to cooking. So I don't really have a cutting board that I have reserved just for meat or anything like that. Most of the time it is after it's been cooked that I will chop it up or slice it or something. But at least once a month I will soak all my cutting boards in bleach water solution, and that just helps them stay clean and sanitized. I don't have to worry about any sicknesses or anything coming off of them. I also keep my refrigerator at a much colder temperature. It's almost to freezing. I know, like, refrigerators, they say you can keep it like around as warm as 41 degrees Fahrenheit, but I just don't feel comfortable like that. I would rather see something get pushed to the back and have it have frozen a little bit than to have my refrigerator a little too warm and have it something go bad. So I'd rather err on the side of caution. All right, so you can see here about a 1/4 inch, maybe closer to an inch, 1/2 inch, maybe closer to 1/2 inch than a 1/4 inch. But they're a nice size. Some pieces are a little bigger, some pieces are a little smaller, but overall it's a good size. Rinse my hands from that. I'm gonna get one of my glass bowls down here with the lid on it to make this a little easier on myself. All right. You can really do this right here. This is a great side dish. It's also a great, like if you want to make an apple tart or something, like this is a great starting place. You can do so much with apples like this. All right, so I am going to add just a splash of lemon juice. This will also help break down the honey when I add it. I'd probably say like a 1/4 teaspoon per apple. And then this is a local honey to me. It is a raw honey, unfiltered honey. And just so y'all know, honey doesn't go bad. If you have honey that crystallizes, that is completely normal. All you got to do is heat it up a little bit to break that crystal formation and you're good as new. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit in there. And then we're just going to kind of stir this around. Like I said, that lemon juice will kind of help liquefy and break down that honey. Just clean my counter, so not worried about anything falling out. Yeah, I believe the recipe really does call for nuts, so I'm probably going to have to go to the store and get some nuts. But I will get it later. All right, I'm going to taste a little piece to see if I've got enough seasoning in it. I think that's going to be good. It's got just a little bit of honey in there to give it a little sweetness. You can catch a little hint of that lemon juice. And then the spices will really, really help. Now, the great thing about this is this will get better as it sets. So I will probably run here in a little bit to the store and get some walnuts, just a small bag. And then be able to add that to this. And this will get refrigerated until this evening. So it was that simple. We got a side dish there, another side dish in the oven. Got our leg of lamb into the crock pot. And I have spring salad mix in the refrigerator that we're going to have along with it. Probably, I think a friend of mine is bringing raspberry vinaigrette to go on top of it, which it'll pair really well with all of this. So, I'll bring y'all back when it is time when everything's done cooking and it's time to serve the meal. Okay, friends, my timer just went off on these little potatoes, so I'm going to check them right quick. All I'm going to do is take a little fork and I'm just going to test them right quick. So it does slide in easily, but they're not quite done. So I'm going to just kind of stir them around on this pan. Boop. Runaway potato. And then that should be good. And then I'm going to stick them back in probably for another 10 more minutes, I think. There we go. And then when they come out that time, they should be pretty much done. So I will just let them cool and then put them in a container. And then when we have dinner tonight, I can just pop them in the microwave, or yeah, probably just pop them in the microwave to heat them up for dinner. So they'll already be cooked and I won't have to try and make sure everything gets finished at the same time. So, yay. All right, friends, that was the second timer on these potatoes in the oven. They should be done now. I'll go ahead and take them out. And let's test them. Here's my fork. Oh yeah, those are definitely done. I'm gonna get one of these small ones and we're gonna give this a taste test because these look delicious. Now again, we just have a little bit of avocado oil on these, some rosemary, some salt, and some garlic powder. Those are really good. The only thing else I would have added to them, but I really want to keep it simple, would be some Parmesan cheese. Those are so good. All right, friends. Now we just gotta wait on that lamb roast to finish cooking. Okay, friends, dinner is ready. Oh, where are my potatoes? So I've got these beautiful rosemary and garlic fingerling potatoes, our charoset, which is apples, walnuts, pumpkin spice or cinnamon, and honey. We've got, this is kind of dessert. So this is a matza, which is like a cracker. Chocolate with dried cherries and pistachios. That is super good. Got our salad mix, and then look at this lamb roast. That looks absolutely phenomenal. Slicing through that was like slicing through butter. It was amazing. All right, friends, I'm gonna turn y'all around for just a second so I can taste this lamb. All right, let me grab a fork here. There's this nice little piece right here. It smells amazing. Oh, I love lamb. So it's super tender, but you got to remember lamb is a little rich, and the flavor of lamb is kind of like between beef and venison. It's got a little bit more gamier flavor. It does tend to be a little bit richer and a little bit more fat, but it is so delicious if you like the flavor of it. So soft. So good. Absolutely delicious. All right, friends, that's going to wrap us up for today. We will see you back tomorrow. And if you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and share so that other people can get inspired too. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.